I maybe it wasn't a good idea to go right off the bat, but we're gonna do it anyways. Um,
Okay.
it's hilarious to me seeing Jordan Love in practice and the narrative, whatever, the shit they talk about on simple wheel routes, whatever. He's hot, he's fanning him off, whatever. The stuff that pisses me off the most is this narrative that Aaron Rodgers was booed in 2008 and look what happened. Um, do I need to remind people? Do people need to be reminded Aaron Rodgers arguably probably should have been the first pick overall? Like it was literally like if, Justin Field, not even worse than that. If like a Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence fell that far. He fell. Justin Love's bum ass shouldn't he should have been there for us in the second round, let alone taken in the first round. So you're comparing a guy who should have been the first pick or the second pick overall to a jackass who played at Utah State and had 17 interceptions when he played San Jose State, Fresno State, and a bunch of fucking bums. Excuse the F bomb, a bunch of bums for his whole season. He had 17 interceptions. Not even that. Not even that. He threw 473 passes. He only threw 20 touchdowns. He couldn't even Jameis Winston it, where he had at least 40 passing touchdowns. Oh, and need I remind you, he also only threw for 3,400 yards. So you're comparing a first round pick to a dude who arguably should have been mid round of the draft because he had a good arm and he looked cool and he was a good story for one goddamn year. Shove it. It's not the same. Shut up. You're stupid. Stop making yourself look like a moron.
And no offense to San Jose State, because as we all know, very pro Spartan show. Trevor's
Ballers.
leading the
Only
charge.
ballers. Only ballers come from San Jose State. That's a fact.
Right. And that receiver last week that we talked about from San Jose State is.
All I know is he caught a touchdown from Blake Bortles, and that's all that matters, baby.
True. Very true. But to your point, I mean, yeah, we remember the whole story about Aaron Rodgers draft day was that he was sitting alone in the green room. He was sitting alone there because he fell so far. And he fell because, what is it, Mike, not Smith, Mike whatever, who was with McCarthy last year in Dallas, hated him because Aaron Rodgers is a douchebag, which, by the way, warranted, fine. Aaron Rodgers is a douchebag. However, he's also very good at football. Much, much, much better than Jordan Love during that time. Much better than Jordan Love could even dream to be completely honest. So yeah. We'll get into the whole wheel routes thing. Packers reporters creamed their jeans today because he completed passes on the Packers defense, which maybe that should be a little bit more alarming. I'm not sure why people aren't thinking about the opposite point of view of this. Jordan Love, of everyone, carved them up. That's a big deal, but no one's talking about that. But yeah, we'll get into that. Trevor, I support you in your rant. I want to say that your rant also voices my opinion too.
Look, if you ever need a filler, I got so many more. Just you ever run out of time? Hey, Trevor, tell us how you really feel. I'll have one locked and loaded for you guys.
How do you feel, Janet, about the whole? I don't even want to call it Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love comparisons, but I guess it kind of is. Like the situations are being compared, I guess.
I have to see it to believe it. That's all I have to say. Like I don't know. I can't say anything right now. Especially because my internet's down and I haven't been able to watch anything. Like everything's I've been watching on my phone, so
Honestly, that might be a win. That might be a win because social media sucks with the Packers.
Right now, yeah, I've been real mad at it. But yeah, no, I can't really say anything right now. I don't like the comparisons that they're doing. I do agree with like jumping into conclusions, I think, about like him being that he's going to be like the next Rodgers because he's going through the same situation that he did. So I really don't like that, but I mean, I have to see it. I have to see him on the field, especially because they're barely on day 2 of like camp, and everybody's like, is he better than last year? Is he better than last year? And it's like, he didn't even play last year. There was no, like, camp last year. There was nothing.
Well, he also didn't practice last year because he wasn't up to speed yet, because he didn't know the playbook. He didn't know anything like that. He spent all last year working on fundamentals because, why would you have to expect a first-round draft pick of a quarterback to know quarterback fundamentals? And then today, a really cool video came out, too, that Matt LaFleur is really working on Jordan Love's footwork, getting really good one-on-one coaching. And the other way you could spin that story was Matt LaFleur had to spend a long time on Jordan Love's footwork with all this one-on-one coaching because he still doesn't fucking get it. Like, that's the other situation. Like, there's two spins to each story, but I think the biggest thing is he's just not ready yet, no matter what. And that's zero hate going towards Jordan Love. He was for sure overdrafted. There's no doubt about that. But he's nowhere near starting quarterback caliber.
Like, dog, you played at Utah State. Your whole college career was a goddamn practice field. That was your whole college career was practice. Like, just footwork. I mean, it's the simple stuff, and it makes you question if he can't get that. I mean, how long is it going to be before he can read a defense? Much less read a defense and make it audible that works. I mean, we're talking not 2 to 3 years like Gutekunst is thinking. We're talking 5, maybe, if.
I'm glad you brought up audibles, because that was one of the real questions, the very few real questions Jordan Love got today. He actually talked to reporters today. I thought it was good that they did that. However, I knew very quickly, and like I talked to, Jake from the Monday FlurrySports podcast. We talked about like this was either going to go two ways. Either is going to be a massacre of the reporters on Jordan Love, or they were going to ask him softballs and to really pump him up, make him look really good. It's not really surprising that the latter is what happened. But one of the real questions, which I apologize that I don't know who asked it, they asked him about audibles and just feeling comfortable in the offense and stuff, comparing him again to Aaron Rodgers, which is stupid. But his answer essentially was that Rodgers is so much further along than he is in being able to make audibles and read defenses and stuff like that, which is fair. Very, very true. I would say there's possibly nobody in the NFL right now on that same level. And the only comparison really I can give is Peyton Manning. And so I'm not expecting Jordan Love to be that. But then the way he said it and the way he's was talking about it, it sounds to me like he still doesn't know the offense good enough to know how to make the reads, to switch the offense into what, something that would exploit what the defense is giving him. And that's an issue because he had nothing to worry about last season other than working on his fundamentals and learning the offense. And I don't think he learned the offense yet.
He kind of reminds me of, it's one of two things. Either he's not smart enough to get the offense, which is alarming, or he's to Daryl Slayton, who doesn't have the work ethic to get the offense. Granted, that's not to Daryl Slayton, but, work ethic concern, I guess, which is also extremely alarming. Both ways are pretty bad, especially for a first-round pick. And I wonder, well, I don't wonder, I know. I wonder how much all this media is going to impact him. We know Aaron Rodgers is a vindictive son of a bitch. Love him to death, but vindictive. So I can feel that when all that stuff happened with Favre, that drove him. I wonder if this is just going to destroy Jordan Love. Not that he could be anywhere near a fantastic quarterback in a perfect situation, but I wonder if he is already getting into his head and if that's going to mess up with him or stick with him his whole career, maybe.
Yeah, and it's obviously too soon to draw conclusions like that. It's possible. To the people who I'm sure popped into their mind that, hey, he hasn't played it down in the NFL, we shouldn't be criticizing his lack of knowing the offense or audibles. I do want to throw these examples out there. Andrew Luck came into camp first day with the Colts, and he was calling audibles that the rest of the offense didn't even know yet because he studied the playbook so hard. That was day 1, and Jordan Love's in day 2 of year 2. So that's completely different. And again, we're comparing 2 first-round quarterbacks. We're not comparing a 7th rounder where, his skill is probably more aligned with a first rounder. We're talking about 2 first rounds. Same thing happened with Trevor Lawrence this year. He was given the playbook a month ahead of time, came into camp ready to go right away, making audibles, reading the defense, doing all of that. And he had a month to work with it. Again, Jordan Love had a year. And he didn't have to suit up for game day, so he could study along and play along like he's a little kid holding a controller that's not plugged in. He could have done that every game day because he didn't suit up because he wasn't good enough, right? So he should be further along than he is mentally, and he definitely should be further along than he is physically, considering mentally he's for sure not there yet.